Hey, what's up, YouTube? Well, if you've been following my NFL draft coverage a little bit, you know that my reaction video to the first round uh, day for the NFL draft, for the 2018 NFL draft, you'd see that I wasn't a big fan of the Oakland Raiders pick of offensive tackle Colton Miller. And overall, this entire offseason for the Oakland Raiders has been a little bit iffy for me. And that trend continues for me when they made another big splash on draft day yesterday, when they decided to trade their third-round pick in this draft to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for Martavis Bryant, wide receiver. And to me, this is kind of a head-scratcher, to be honest, because Martavis Bryant, he is an incredible talent at the wide receiver position. There's no doubt about it. When you look at his speed, the ability to take the top off of the defense, the ability with the ball in his hands to just make plays and take it to the house whenever he gets the ball in his hands from wherever you give him the ball, whether it be through end arounds, reverses, screens, quick slants, stuff of that nature. He's very explosive with the ball in his hands, yes. And he definitely can add a very unique speed element to this offense overall. When you look at, they signed Jordy Nelson earlier in the season. They have Amari Cooper already there. Yes, on paper, I think that wide receiving core looks pretty decent overall. But this kind of, I don't know, it makes no sense, I think, from this standpoint. The Raiders need as much young talent as they can get going forward, especially young, cheap talent they can get, because they have extensions coming up for Khalil Mack, as well as Derek Carr coming up on their rookie contracts. And they're going to have to, put a lot of money into those players going forward. And then you look at a guy like Martavis Bryant, who's on the last year of his contract. You had to give up a third-round pick, which is a valuable pick in terms of you can get a starter for your defense, which badly needs players and playmakers on that defense. I'm just not a fan of that, because Martavis Bryant, while he does have a lot of high reward potential there, there's also a lot of risk. When you look at Martavis Bryant, this is a guy that was really complaining about his role with the Steelers when Juju Smith-Schuster rightly beat him out of a job and took over his spot as a playmaker for that offense. And then when you look at the off-the-field stuff, the suspensions, the drug abuse use, and just some of those things that have gone on with Martavis Bryant's career, this is a big risk for the Raiders, and this could maybe go the wrong way for them a little bit here. You hope that Martavis Bryant has matured to the point where he's not going to have any of those off-field issues. But in terms of even without those off-field issues, I'm still really questioning this trade here, because Martavis Bryant, while he's a talented player, it's not like he's ever been a number one or number two wide receiver and proven to be a consistent number two or number one wide receiver in an offense ever. He's always been a nice gadget player for Steelers that have always been, just loaded with talent overall. And look at, they have Antonio Brown to kind of take pressure off of him. Le'Veon Bell to take pressure off of him. Getting a Hall of Fame quarter like Ben Roethlisberger, throwing him the ball. I mean, there's a lot of talent to go around that Steelers offense. And Martavis Bryant was just a cog in the machine, to say the least there. So the fact that the Raiders were willing to give up a third-round pick after picking a guy like a Colton Miller in the first round, really, Colton Miller? Come on, man. It makes no sense to me, to be honest. And really, this new John Gruden era has just kind of gone off to a rough start. For me, my personal opinion, they really haven't addressed their main needs, which is their defense. I mean, I feel like if John Gruden's the offensive coach and offensive quarterback guru that he's been hyped up to be, you'd think that they wouldn't need to add so much to the offensive side of the ball when you look at the way they've traded for guys, the way they've signed guys in the offseason, the way they've gone about their draft so far. You'd think they'd be more focused on building up that defense a little more to help out Khalil Mack, so he's not the only player making plays out there, and he's not the only player that offenses has to really game plan against. Because that's the way it's looking right now. That's the way it's going to be looking forward to this next season, is that this offense, while, yes, it might regain some of its form of it was 2 years ago when Derek Carr was having an MVP caliber year and Amari Cooper was looking good. They had one of the best receiving corps in the league. Yes, they could realistically relive that type of offensive success. But this team is not going to go anywhere, especially in this division, if they can't get a darn defense to build around this team. Right now, they just have no defensive talent outside of Khalil Mack. I'm sorry, that's not going to get you far. It really isn't. It's really head-scratching that they keep on doing these moves where kind of like a one step forward, two steps back in this offseason so far. And honestly, I question whether this receiving core is any better than what they had last year, to be quite honest with you guys. When I look at Michael Crabtree, yes, he's not a great player necessarily, but he's better than Jordy Nelson at this point in his career, in my opinion. I mean, what does Jordy Nelson really add at this point? He's old. He's still like kind of recovering from that major knee injury he had a couple years ago. He doesn't have the same explosiveness. And really, I question whether he was just a product of Aaron Rodgers anyway. So really, how much of an improvement are you getting there? And Martavis Bryant, again, I mean, he's a nice, speedy gadget player, but is he going to be a consistent receiving option for David Carr in that offense? I question that personally. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on that trade with the Raiders and the Steelers. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And of course, please leave a like and share this. Maybe subscribe, of course, for more content just like this. So thanks, guys, for watching.